This weather report brought to you by Seafood Market at Caloundra, Bulcock Street.
Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Almost the whole state of Queensland is now covered in rain cloud, and it looks as though the really heavy record-breaking stuff will stay north of us, but the Sunshine Coast can expect more or less continuous wet weather until at least the end of this week. Coops Corner had 94 millimetres of rain overnight. That's decent. Noosaville scored 60 mils, Maroochydore 37, Coolum 34, and lots more to come. Temperatures are behaving as you'd typically expect during wet weather, chilly by day but slightly muggy at night. Nambour was freezing today with only 20 degrees. Let's look at the satellite loop. Have you ever seen so much of Australia covered in such a thick blanket of cloud? The entirety of Queensland and most of New South Wales and Victoria as well. Especially being May, when it's supposed to be the start of dry season, this, to me at least, is unprecedented. And a whole lot of that cloud is producing heavy rain. The thick of it, like I mentioned, is in the tropics, and tomorrow they're absolutely going to get hammered with hundreds of millimetres. There'll be records smashed everywhere. Around here, we'll get localised heavy falls, but in general, it's more like just a big, steady rain mass that just won't stop. It'll last for days. Today's chart now on the surface, we've had a long trajectory of easterly winds. They've been around for several days now. And if you can imagine them rubbing over the steamy tropical sea of the Pacific Ocean and maintaining greater and greater depth so that they're so saturated with moisture, it takes so little to lift them up and cool them to condensation. And at the moment, we have an invisible upper level trough that's doing exactly that. On tomorrow's chart, you can't see the upper level trough. It cuts off into a full-blown upper low and it moves over tropical Queensland. That's where they'll get their extremely heavy rain. For us, there'll be steady rain. And then on the outlook chart, you can see that the wind even goes northeasterly now and the trough moves south, so the heavy rain starts moving towards us, not quite reaching us. So now the latest from the Weather Bureau, the boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters, the strong wind warning remains in force for 25 to 30 knot easterlies over a 2.5 metre swell. Wind shifting east-northeasterly on Thursday, Friday and holding strength. Terrible surf at the moment, almost 2 metres of messed up swell. Rips all over the place like a washing machine and raining all day. Don't bother. 2 high tides tomorrow, one at the crack of dawn and the other at the very end of the day. Halfway between, we have a modest low tide, matching the current moon phase. Now, the South East Coast District, a rainy day with locally heavy falls, as I said. Maroochydore 19 to just 23 degrees. Nambour and Gympie cooler on only 22. Looking ahead for Maroochydore, 2 peaks of rainfall expected, up to 100 millimetres tomorrow, and then a further 70 mils possible on Friday, with showers then continuing well into next week, just not as heavy. That's me for this evening, folks. Stay safe in the wet weather, and please, please remember to turn on your headlights when driving in the rain. Otherwise, nobody can see you. Catch you soon. Back to you, Rob.
You're wonderful, Luke. Good on you, mate. Just a reminder, anything you'd like to watch again, catch up on our 7plus app or our page, 7news.com.au. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Take care. Good night.